It's now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
And welcome to Big D Energy. It is a Yam Thursday here inside our headquarters right here at 15 Mile in Woodward. My name is Stick. I'm filling in for Neil Rule. One more day, then you get the golden voice back. And we got our guy back. Dmac is here today. Four-time Stanley Cup champion and a bobblehead right in front of him.
That's Dmac. He blows the smoke on him, he comes to life. There we go.
Don't put water on it after midnight, though. That's one thing. It's like a mogwai.
That's right.
It comes to life.
Absolutely.
We got Fish holding down the audio because Flannel Sam is out in, I believe, Arizona. Scouting places for his wedding because he's going to have a destination wedding.
Good for him.
I didn't know Flannel Sam had that money like that, too. They're doing it in Sedona. Sedona ain't cheap.
Well, there you go. Good for him.
You know Arizona. You should give him some tips.
I did. I told him where to go in Sedona because Sedona's like one of my favorite places in the world. So
tell him sunscreen.
Definitely sunscreen. And it's a dry heat.
Yeah.
What is a dry heat? Fish? Or fish? Stick. Talk about the heat. For somebody that's been out, I understand it, but what's the difference? Because we're getting, as the weather changes here, the humidity will go up. What's the easiest way?
So, the easiest way to describe it is here, when it's hot and sticky, it is never sticky there. It's so hot, the minute you step out, it's a dry heat, your sweat starts to evaporate, so you don't even know you're sweating because it's evaporating as it's coming out of your skin. I spent July and August down there when I was helping my dad. My dad was fighting cancer and going through chemo, so I was down there helping him. And I literally passed out of heat exhaustion just helping him in and out of the car just because of how hot it was. The blacktop, your shoes will melt to it. It's so gross. But it's kind of like our winter. They don't go outside in July and August. We don't go outside from pretty much December to March, right?
Water's a key.
Yeah.
You know what I found as far as
water.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I found from living in Florida. I lived for a summer through that Florida heat and the humidity, so that when I came back to Michigan in the summertime, I don't sweat on the golf course. I can drink coffee out there in the middle of and because your body comes acclimated. Did you find that coming from the heat there to the heat of this summer, did it change?
For me, no, but when my family comes up and visits, 70 degrees, they're wearing a coat and it's freezing to them. It's so wild to me how the human body adjusts like that.
Yeah, I bring this up because that's sort of, a little bit of a mind blower because it's a 4-hour flight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's part of in this country. It's the extremes. So good luck. Hopefully he finds a good spot.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I do love about America besides everything. But no, I love that we have every climate that there is. You want to go to mountains, you got mountains. You want to go to desert, we got desert. You want rainforest, we got rainforest. We got it all in this country, and it's so crazy how just climates change. And like you said, I can be in Florida in 2 hours eating lobster on the beach, fresh lobster, fresh crab, and it's just so crazy how much access we have here in this great country. What's up, Fish?
Can I call people out?
Who you calling out, Fish?
Well, I'm not calling specific. Well, I'm calling specific people out, not by name because I don't know any names. But there's idiots out there that have weddings in Florida and Arizona and Texas in July and August.
Oh yeah,
you're kind of stupid. Have them in December.
But Fish, what if they're inside?
That's fine, but isn't the whole point you're going down to have them outside?
Yeah,
I don't know why you'd have them inside.
Nobody
just have them in
invite
Michigan.
Fish. Yeah, so do you understand if you're planning on having that outdoor wedding in Florida or Arizona, don't invite Fish.
Well, no,
it's got to be in New Zealand if you want Fish to show up.
you could have it October or March, April, even May is kind of acceptable. But July and August, even if Florida
Hockey
people
season, bro, can't have it during the season.
Yeah, but if Florida people hate their weather, what do you think? You think you're gonna like their weather?
Fish is the gatekeeper of all weddings.
I'd just be happy for two human beings that wanted to have matrimony together.
Do they have open bar? Food. Is it an open bar? If it's open bar, I'm there. I don't care. You can hold it on the sun. I'm going to show up and get my free drinks. because I love open
or
bars.
you could have a wedding out there. Just don't complain that it's really hot and humid, depending on if you're Florida, Arizona. Just be happy.
Needless to say, Sam's in Sedona right now. Hopefully it all works out for him. It's beautiful up there, and hopefully we get an invite to that, because I will definitely go to Sedona to see Sam get married. And I wonder if he's going to have like a flannel tuxedo.
No, that would be sweet.
I could see him doing it, man. I could see his fiance letting him do that, too, because she's cool as hell in the short experiences I've had with her. Like, you hung out with her at the draft party, right?
Oh, yeah, she's real cool. Flannel tuxedo, we should make that happen.
We got to make that happen.
We got to make that happen.
We all show up in flannel tuxedos.
Yes.
Or if he decides not to, because they go traditional, then we show up in flannel tuxedos.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
As a shot
Squat up.
up.
Oh, man, lots to talk about in
Flannel
today's show. Surprise, surprise, the Tigers lost, so we can talk about that again and again. It feels like Groundhog's Day with the Tigers right now. Matt Patricia moving to the offensive side of the football. Pistons next season predictions. Should the Pistons target Zach LaVine is something we're going to discuss coming up today. Should Raymond be a Calder finalist? And this was on the prep, and I bought into it. Dan Campbell didn't draft Howell because he only eats chicken. And I'm like,
here's the problem
so
right there.
I believe Spencer. Like, this is an honorable man. And he put this on, like, there's no way this happened. He's like, oh, yeah. Like, what's up with this?
No, it was a play on. Listen, it was a play on words because Dan Campbell didn't draft. That's Brad Holmes' job. So he got you in the mind. He got you in the. I looked at it and just said that. But this is sort of a funny story, Spence, that you came across.
Yeah. Apparently, Sam Howell only eats chicken. He's never eaten steak. He's never eaten a burger. He said he'll get chicken fingers from every restaurant they go to.
He's fish.
For a team dinner.
He's me except the burgers.
Yeah,
cheeseburgers are very delicious.
He'll bring his own chicken tenders to like team dinners and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was just thinking, Dan Campbell seems like a red meat type of guy. He seems like a steak and potatoes guy.
Sam Fisher, Woodward Sports, Mr. Howell. But the follow-up question, sir. Along with those nuggets that you carry, do you have Lunchables?
I mean, Lunchables are better than bringing chicken tenders.
Listen, Fish would get a Sam Howell jersey in a second if he found out that Sam Howell.
Right.
Also, too.
That and a protein bar at 11 a.m.
I do not. I have more respect for Sam Howell now. I just heard that. I love that.
It's crazy how some people's like dietary just restrictions or whatever they choose in their life never evolves. Like, they're still eating the same thing as they ate when they were 6 years old. Like, here's your French fries and your chicken fingers, right, Fish?
Oh, that sounds good right now.
Well, some people are picky, man.
Make sure you get them from Wingstop, by the way.
Yes, they should.
Nice plug.
Some people are picky eaters.
Are you a picky eater, Dmac?
No olives.
No olives.
No olives.
That's not bad.
I'm only picky when it comes to condiments. Like, I don't like ketchup. I don't like ranch. I don't like blue cheese. Yeah.
You don't like ranch?
I don't like ranch. I hate ranch.
How? How is that possible?
My wife's a huge ranch person. I'm not a big ranch person. I don't mind it, but do not blasphemize ketchup to a guy from the tomato capital of Canada over here.
Yeah, no, ketchup's gross to me.
Tomatoes, brah.
I think part of it is because I've just seen people do so much gross stuff with those condiments.
What, like ketchup chips?
The stuff that ranch goes on, like, I've seen
ketchup
people...
chips are Canadian. Great.
They are.
No. Hey, can I just, out of the brain, a little bit of a hack? You know, those life hacks. Do you know that, did you know this? You probably did. I just found this out. If you go to McDonald's and you get the French fries, you know they have the foldable tops. A lot of people fold it to keep the heat in or whatever. Well, if it's meant to be folded out to put ketchup on there so you can dip it as you're eating your fries. So there it is. You wouldn't know that because you're not a ketchup
I'm a
guy.
barbecue sauce guy, though.
So
like, I'll eat barbecue sauce on my fries.
Like Sweet Baby Ray's?
Any barbecue sauce.
Barbecue.
I'm a whore for barbecue
Chicken
sauce.
Shack has the best barbecue sauce.
Barba whore.
Barba whore, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, here's another hack at McDonald's. Order your fries with no salt, and then get the salt on the side, and they'll always be fresh. Because they have to make them, because all the other fries have salt on them.
Or you just ask them for a fresh batch. Make sure they're hot.
Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah. I like to hack the system.
You should always do those hacks if you want your food to be fresh. Just say like you want one of the items off the burger or the fish sandwich, and it'll make it
no
fresh.
ketchup always gets you that fresh burger.
Oh, good call.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but hasn't McDonald's learned by now, like that people are gonna do that?
Probably. Yeah, some people get really pissed off.
So they don't just say, okay, let's do one with no ketchup, one with no mustard.
No.
They can't, because then they'll just be sitting there all day if nobody specs out their order.
You know what you can also do?
I guess so.
Get the Claire Mac. We created the Claire Mac.
What's the Claire Mac?
It's just the cheeseburger, the hamburger with mac sauce on it.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So, yeah, Dan Campbell, him not drafting Howell really had nothing to do with the chicken, but I bought into that story. I'm like, there's no way Dan Campbell said that. Like, I'm literally sitting here arguing with Spencer over it.
Yeah, no, it's not true. It just seemed like, Dan Campbell seems like a red meat guy, so I don't think he'd want his quarterback to only eat chicken.
Now, would that bother you? Like, let's just a little bit on the situation. Would that change somebody's eating habit or the fact they only ate chicken? Would that deter you?
No, hell no. I mean, not
from
this day and
drafting
age,
somebody.
right? I mean, there's people that are vegan that are performing at a high level.
Cade's a vegan.
Look at
Who is? Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, Cade's a vegan. He's okay.
Yeah, look at Ocho Cinco, McDonald's back in the day. Games changed.
Yeah, definitely. No, and I mean,
Verlander used to eat Taco Bell before every start. That was his ritual for a long time.
And then you just go think back into like the 70s in baseball when guys have like, mouths full of chew, they're smoking in the dugouts.
The good days.
You see people literally drinking beer during the games. Like, athletes have evolved, baby. I mean, I'm sure even from when you were playing in the 90s to the early 2000s, to these guys, it's just they take it a lot more serious now.
Well, it's not. I don't know if that's the statement. You take it serious. It's a 24-hour a day, 365 day a year profession. You don't get off. Before it used to be, all right, 8-9 months on, and you get 3 months off or 2 months off or whatever. And really, now guys might take a week and then they're back at it. But the bar is raised in every sport. Kids are more well-developed at a younger age, so there's more competition.
Yeah, it's crazy how the trickle-down effect of sports is happening like that with the development and stuff, because we go watch high school games all the time, and I feel like the high school players now are so much more developed than when we were in high school.
Well, that's where you really see the differences in that high school age, whether it's high school sports or junior sports or stuff like that. I always thought that I played late. But no, when I look back at it, I played just right. But there wasn't. You could sense the change, right? And there was the evolved change. And you look to the 2004-05 lockout, where you could pinpoint it there, but it actually started probably a year or so earlier than that.
Okay.
It probably started the year after we won the Cup in 2002, maybe in 3-4, maybe you could feel the temperature change, and maybe that was leading into the lockout and stuff, but it definitely changed after that.
Okay. That's crazy insight. Dmac is on today. This is Big D Energy, and I got to tell you about Planet Fitness. I mean, summertime's here. You got to get that summer body right. Just make yourself feel good. Look good naked at Planet Fitness, because your fitness is essential. $10 a month will get you that membership. Plus, you can upgrade to that Black Card membership where you can bring a friend, and you can take advantage of all the amenities that they have there. Super clean, super efficient. Planet Fitness, $10 a month. Make sure you go today.
Summer in the D is just around the corner, and Woodward Sports is ready for all the heat. Go Tigers! From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Our friends at Alta know that when it comes to getting your job completed and on budget, on schedule, uptime, yes, that matters most. That's why Alta Equipment has partnered with the biggest names in construction. So with the most diverse fleet in Michigan, there's nothing your project can throw at you that Alta can't handle. Give them a call today. That's 844. Go to Alta today. 844. Go to Alta today. Alta Equipment, where uptime matters.
Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule. We got Dmac on the desk. Fish is here, making sure the sound is right. And, of course, Big Spence pulling all the bells and whistles and levers behind us to make sure that we look good today. Speaking of looking good, the guy that never looked good here in Detroit, Matt Patricia, he is moving to the other side of the ball. He is apparently going to be calling some of the offensive plays for the Patriots, which I don't know if this guy has something on Bill Belichick or he's able to blackmail him somehow, but I don't get how this guy comes here, totally drops the ball, proves that he can't even put together a solid defense here. Then he goes back home to where they bred this lunatic of a coach, and now they're shifting him to the offensive side of the ball, which he has no history of doing. Bill Belichick is smart. I will not question Bill Belichick, but right now I'm questioning Bill Belichick. What the hell is going on in New England, and do you think this is a good move? Are you comfortable with Matty P calling them plays?
This is a bobblehead. He's a puppet, right? Bill's puppet, right? So obviously Belichick wants more control on the offensive side. This ain't about Matt Patricia, other than who's the guy that is going to spread Bill's word. Right, that's always what it's sort of been. I know that, and sometimes, right, Stick, in life, it's just certain people work better and need. It always seems that if you can get the most out of Matt Patricia when you have his supervisors, Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Right. Also, too, look at it. If he's supposed to be this defensive guru, well, being a defensive guru means you watch offense all the time, so you sort of have to have an idea. End of the day, in my mind, from what I've seen, from what you've seen, I got a glass shot of that. Is the fact that he's his puppet. It's more to the message that I think. Because think about it this way: if Bill Belichick has a message to be delivered to the offense, Matt Patricia is your offensive coordinator. You know it's going to be delivered, right? And it's just like, is he more of a puppet than anything from what we've seen here? Absolutely. So do I take credence in Matt Patricia's going to put this offensive juggernaut together for Mac Jones and do it? Absolutely not. Will Bill Belichick? Probably.
Yeah, honestly, I love the concept that you just brought up that, hey, he studied defense so long that obviously he's studying offense, so he should know a little bit of something.
Well, wait a second.
And that makes sense. That's
not
logical.
Not only studied, if you're the defensive coordinator that made the greatest call in the Super Bowl history, self-proclaimed, in the Malcolm Butler interception, right? Then
that's more on Darrell Bevel, not running Marshawn Lynch.
I don't, but we've all heard Matt Patricia tell everybody, he's famous for saying, I won a Super Bowl, I did that.
Yeah, he's an I guy.
I don't get it, bro.
He's an I guy. He's a me guy. And me guys and I guys I hate.
You know what I hate? I hate when I got 4 cups and then I hear garbage by somebody else that acts like, that they won one or they were a bigger part of something, right? I'm a cog in the wheel of one of the greatest franchises, dynasties, whatever you want to say. You can never argue with me in that.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I'll carry these around. But the pompousness and whatever else, like, Belichick's where it comes from. So I don't take stock in anything in Patricia. When anything comes out of New England, it's what Bill wants. So this is just, and you have to have, in order to be a marionette, you need the puppets, right? What does he do? So why can't they go, for the most part, his assistant coaches or whatever, and go elsewhere
you never
and
see
be successful?
Romeo Crennel, unsuccessful.
He leaves,
Charlie Weiss,
he takes out,
little successful Charlie Weiss. McDaniel had to leave, came back. He's out there again. So they gave him another shot at it. But you're right. Like, anytime someone from that umbrella goes out.
Why?
Because
why?
They're puppets, like you're saying. Like, they're not running the game plan.
What I'm trying to
say
is
soldiers, they're not generals.
They're more puppets than they are because they don't have the backbone, because when Bill lets them go, he keeps something. They don't know what it is. They think they've got all the secrets.
Right.
Right? And how do I know this? Because I was raised under Scotty Bowman, who arguably for lack of a better term, is the Bill Belichick of the NFL or the other way around or whatever else. So they think on a different level, right? But they also, too, I look at Matt Patricia no more than Barry Smith, which was Scotty's right hand. That was Scotty's guy, and Scotty would message everything a lot through him. If you're on the bench and you get yelled at by Scotty Bowman, he's yelling at Barry, who's in your ear. So when he's done, Scotty's done, he walks away. Barry's stuck there going, "Did you get that?" And you turn around and you're like, "F off, Barry." What am I, stupid? I can hear.
Yeah, and it's interesting how some people are good at what they do, and that's their lane, and that's it. You know, look at a Rod Marinelli, right? One of the best defensive line coaches of all time. But you put him in a position to be a head coach, he doesn't have the equipment to run the entire organization. And that's kind of what's happening with every time.
Some of these guys are phenomenal one-tool athletes, one-tool coaches.
Yes.
Right?
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And Matt Patricia can, what do we hear? You hear, and this is Belichick's setting, if you remember, a month ago or a month and a half ago at the NFL owners meeting, there's something came out that, hey, do you know Belichick was praising about, having all, it was Matt Patricia's name came out. He was just setting us up for what he's doing now, but to me, it's more of that control from Bill thing until it shows me you're not going to convince me elsewhere. And we know this because we know what the guy's all about here.
Yeah, and I'll say this, too, though, about Bill Belichick. He's loyal to his people. Even though they go out, they stumble, he welcomes them back and tries to give them another opportunity. Is that because he knows he can use them as puppets? Maybe. Or is it?
Million%. Come on.
So it's not because you're just a loyal guy, come back home
to daddy. I'll fix you up. Come on. Remember when I told you
the world
I thought
is
it was
rough
a bad
out there.
idea? Remember when I told you it was a bad idea to go? But you can go. But you know what?
Now
it's
you're
like
my
your
bitch.
Parents, man.
Yeah.
Or your grandparents, like just sitting there going, "I told you so."
That's when you fake run away from home, and then you come back and you're like, "Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad." You're gone for 8 hours, and you feel like you accomplished something.
Me and He-Man are out.
Did you ever run away from home when you were young?
Yeah, I did a couple times. I just, we had people that lived like across the street from us that were like our second home. So I would just go over there and sleep over for like a day, and then I would come back and like nothing happened. So,
right. Yeah. One time, I literally packed up my car. I was about 16 years old, and I started driving south. I made it to Bowling Green, Ohio. I'm just like, well, now what the hell do I do? And then you just turn around and you drive home because you don't know. Like I wasn't gonna go live on this. Like I wasn't that mad. Yeah. Dmac, you ever leave home early?
When I was 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, to play hockey.
So you had a purpose.
I was always gone. So not so much that point, but where's the game plan?
Right, that was it.
Realize,
I'm a big man now. I'm leaving. I don't need y'all. Oh shit, I'm running out of gas.
Also, here's the whole thing, right? It'll be interesting to see Josh McDaniels this time around.
Yeah.
Right? Because is there a formula where Bill lets you go but then has to bring you back so that and then do you learn the second time? Is it one of these things that, because to me it's too consistent to be a coincidence. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you can't say he doesn't have weapons now. He's got Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs. He's got a good offense to work with, so if he doesn't work it out this time.
But honestly, what does that say about Bill Belichick's assistants if he doesn't work out a second time? Because we can't point to one that's been successful.
Yeah.
Not one.
Because here's the thing. When you're second time around, so now when Josh McDaniels, it's not so much it's what he's learned the first time and what he's learned to go out. And usually when you send him out the second time, right, you've made your point. You want him to be successful. Right? You want the kids to fail one time so you're under the parents.
You want your family tree. You want something to be proud of in your tree, right? Because Bill Belichick's coming to the end of his road, and if there's no one left, it's like passing on your last name as a father, right?
But when you let them fly the coop and they have to come back to
daddy,
right, to get it again, and then you send them out the second time, So what I'm trying to say is I believe that this time with Josh McDaniels, Belichick, because he's coming to the end of his tenure, because now he's sort of trying to, right, if you're withholding that secret from the guys that are going to spread your legacy, maybe now he's giving everything and trying to put it out there, right?
Jeff put a good point in the chat. Is Brian Flores is really the only one, and he was getting paid to lose. Like they were trying to bribe him to lose. He was the only one that was winning.
I don't think
and he's never going to coach again now either.
Yeah.
So like he was probably the most successful, but he wasn't successful.
No, yeah.
But he was but to your point, I think that we didn't see the full potential reach because of what he was hamstrung with. So, but there's always something. Yeah. Right? There's always something.
Right.
Can we agree there's a Belichick assistant? There's something that happens.
Hey, man, we went all in on the Patriot way, and it bit us in the ass. Like, it set us back. Oh, we had plenty of choices.
What I'm saying, you had, but where you're at, but think about it. Does everybody, when history moves on, do you just forget?
I don't forget.
No.
I'm a Caldwell guy.
What I'm saying, do you
I'm
forget?
a Caldwell guy.
Do you forget where we were at? We had gotten so close. We were supposed to have gotten there.
9-7's not good enough.
I get it,
I
right?
love Jim
Because
Caldwell.
why? So am I the only one that is, because if you look and the success of what was sold to you, the bill of goods to whatever else, like it's a car dealership, anything else, that's what the Patriot Way was. That's whatever it was. You were sold that sort of bill of goods, but why wouldn't you believe it? Because you had nothing to hang on to. You had nothing as a Detroit Lions organization. If 9-7 is not good enough, I believe that they thought 100% in their hearts that was going to get them over the edge, which means that because the desperation,
right?
It was a desperation at all ends move, and they realized that what happened, it took you further back. So now why it's important is that putting the pieces, baby stepping it together. But yeah, the big thing is Caldwell. You fired Caldwell after 9-7 without another. I mean, hindsight's great, but it's the same thing as why. It's the same thing as why. Why do teams add guys that have won for the playoff runs in different sports? Because they think they have the secret or the ingredient that'll carry you throughout. So I can explain to the Lions why. Because
they just got it wrong. They just got it dead wrong.
You didn't go to Denver or somebody that won every now and then. You went to the precipice at the time of a dynasty.
Right, but the problem is you didn't get the guy. You got like the guy that was like
no,
three
you
people
got
below
what
the
they
guy.
wanted you to get. Do you not understand?
They got the only thing they're willing to give you.
Bill got you. Bill got you $1 million. Did you understand that the NFL runs it, and then the Belichick's at the like. It was,
and then we were a nice landing spot for anybody that they cut or anybody that they wanted to trade.
Yeah.
Like
we
were a nice farm system for the Patriots.
Here's the conversation, Matt. I'm going to need you to go to Detroit. Okay, Bill. I'm going to need you to go to Detroit. Yeah, I need to filter some players out here.
Right.
I need you to go
there.
Give
me that Van Noy guy.
They're the one. They're not going to, because the league will just like, they won't go, whatever, this, that, as we run the train there and get this back. Like, it's just
They
nuts.
did run a train, that's for sure.
It's just nuts.
One right after another,
Ran a train on Detroit fans everywhere.
They ran a train on this entire team. Took us from a 9-7 basement to a 2-14. Either way, you ready to have some fun this weekend? It's going to be beautiful. The sun is out today. I want to be on a patio right now drinking, and I need to have some Gypsy vodka in my hand. When it's ice cold and chilled, it goes down so smooth. Perfect for a summer day like today. And it's made in Michigan, gluten-free, so you're supporting local. Make sure you ask for it in your store nearest you, or go to your local watering hole and order a Gypsy and whatever you want to mix it with, or drink it straight up. GypsyVodka.com. Go check them out.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. We brought back some of the classic breakfast items like the strawberry French toast, hot cakes, and waffle. If you're not feeling breakfast, try our new strawberry bacon chicken wrap, crispy chicken wrap, nacho wrap, or strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. And don't forget to grab dessert, including our berry delicious strawberry pie for only $1.99 with the purchase of $7.99 or more
at participating Big Boy locations.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know it. You've heard about it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. Multiple things you can do there. Host your corporate party, team building event, or just have a good time with family and friends. They have $12 unlimited open play. You can stay there open to close and throw your arm off. Or they have private lane reservation for $120 up to 10 people. You know about their $2 mystery beer vending machine. You put in $2. It pops you out a good beer. No hassle, no fuss needed, just great beer. Know what you want to make a decision? They have multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So go on down to Hamtramck and check them out in person or visit them online at fullingwarehouse.com. Again, that is fullingwarehouse.com.
Welcome back to Big D Energy live on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody that's watching on YouTube right now. Make sure you like and subscribe. We got some big things planned coming up, and I want you guys to be a part of it. Amon-Ra also believes that there's some big things on the horizon for the Detroit Lions. I mean, they were talking Super Bowl yesterday at the press meeting. And I know, McCarty, you don't love that talk before the 34 games is up. You got the McCarty clock. It's out. It's in there. It's in everybody's face. But Amon-Ra St.Brown was talking that way. Jamal Williams also brought up the word Super Bowl yesterday. And I get that. As a professional athlete, what are you supposed to be gunning for? When you get asked the question, hey, what do you want to win? Oh, I just want to win 9 games. No. You should always be gunning for the Super Bowl, whether it's logical or not as a player. Is that right?
Yeah.
You feel that way? Okay, good.
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay.
I mean, they're young.
So you're not going to yell at them like you yell at me?
No, if you said that, I'd yell at you.
I know.
Because you're supposed to be. These guys are they're supposed to believe in each other. They're supposed to go into the season and stuff like that. Reality sort of sets in. That's our job, just to say, okay, temper it back. But when you hear them talk, take it in context, right? What you hear is, yeah, they dropped Super Bowl whatever because they're excited. They're excited of the new guys coming in, what they're building. That's what I take out of this is look at the excitement level. The best thing that I heard of that press conference, somebody asked Jameson Williams, hey, how's your feelings about Hard Knocks? Pulled him in, said real quiet, I don't give an F.
Yes.
I just want a ball.
Yeah, that was Jamal. Jamal said that.
Jamal said that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is that which here's with Swag Daddy and stuff like this, the guy, we know the personality. With all these young kids, it's like building his gang. You know, like not just him, but all these younger guys together, us against the world. It's sort of like the mentality of, yeah, coming into the Detroit Red Wings, you had the Eismans and the Fedorovs and the Proberts and the Cicerellis and all those guys. But it was our turn to make, you know, the young guns and stuff, Ozzy, myself, Drapes, Maltz, you know, Dandy, Aaron Ward, you know, guys like that, the younger. So I think that you see these young guys coming in.
Yep.
And you see them being excited. To me, it's the excitement of let's get out there and play. Practice, you'll see it. And because why? The youth pushes the youth to get better, the excitement. That brings the older guys younger. That brings that excitement level where everybody looks forward to going and to building towards something and looks forward to showing up at practice every day.
Yeah, what I like about it, too, is it shows that these guys aren't lionized yet, right? They still have that hope. They still have that desire because sometimes we've had in the past, people come here and they're just like, they lose that energy. They lose that. But because we have such a young roster, because we have so much young talent coming in, because we have such a vibrant head coach, I don't think we're ever going to see those guys like drop their shoulders, hang their head. It's always going to be this positive moving forward mentality as long as they're continuing to grow on what they're building from last year into this year. Because obviously they're looking around the locker room right now thinking, I like the way this looks. And I mean, that's a quote literally from Amon-Ra. He said the Lions have a complete offense now that he didn't feel they had last year. So that's a major thing. They signed DJ Chark. Obviously, they got Jameson Williams. So as a young guy, second-year wide receiver who had 90 receptions, 912 yards, 5 touchdowns, to look around and say, oh, my God, we're complete now. You complete me. He pulls the Jerry Maguire with the Lions, and I absolutely love it. So it's awesome that these young guys haven't gotten to the point where we've seen a lot of former Lions get to. And I think that has a lot to do with not only our head coach, but the national narrative. I mean, we saw Mina Kimes yesterday tweet out that she loves the Lions fan base, and we're just seeing all this national love, and it's gonna radiate down to these guys to where it's not the SOL like the old guys say.
No, that's true. You know, you're making it more of a destination place, but it's about the culture, and it goes back to this regime and what they've sort of implemented. We saw it last year because this team did not quit, no matter what situation they were in. And I always like hearing from guys that are on the offense or on the team, and they look around the room and see what we're seeing. So it's not BS. The good thing too with the youth, it's harder. You're not, and you said like Lionize, you're not. You don't have the scabs of success and failure of the game. So in your interviews and stuff, you're still green. So you don't know how to kayfabe it, right? You don't have that interview speak yet. You don't have your cliches down. But I don't think these guys care. I think all these guys know it's not like any of these guys come in and go, "Oh, Detroit Lions, yeah, you guys won a playoff game?" Like, hey, whoa, this is good. No,
right? No one cares.
They know that they can be right. It's the same thing as we knew as part of the Detroit Red Wings in the mid-'90s. If we can win, you'll never buy another drink, food, whatever. And 25 years later, coming up on the first cup, that is more true than ever. Now, you win more, it gets even better. But the fact is that these guys know that and to your point, Stick, of the other day about getting, and you say Super Bowl, they know as athletes it's one step at a time, but they like what's being put together, right? When you look around, I'm gonna take this back to ketchup. Okay, so when I grew up in Leamington, Ontario, with the only house surrounded by fields, right? When I looked out and had to pick tomatoes for 50 cents a bushel and had to be out there at eight hours on the day and try to get your 100 bushels in to make 50
Good
bucks,
Lord, man.
Right? When I looked out there and I saw half my baseball team right out there, because why would that be? Because one of the farms that we worked at was one of our teammates, whatever. But then it was fun, right? Then it wasn't work. Then it was a challenge. Then we challenged each other. We pushed each other. Oh, man, this guy got 24 in one row in 2 hours. That's huge. You know, screw that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
healthy competition.
Healthy competition, but you're in for whatever, right? We knew, hey, 8 of us, we got a game tonight. We got to get this field done. There's roughly it's going to take, like 300 bushels. The quicker we got done, there'd be sometimes we'd be done in 4 or 5 hours when we wanted to be done. And then we could, take a couple hours and go swimming and do whatever else. It was just, when you look around. Why I say that? Because in the past, it's always been 1 or 2 guys, and maybe you're out there with your buddy, but your buddies start at the other end of the field, so you're not going to see them till lunchtime or whatever.
Right.
No, we're all doing one way. We're going to get into it, every now and then, and they're going to have fun doing it.
Yeah, and to your point about these guys not being too polished when they're talking to the media and just kind of giving their honest opinion, I think that's a reflection of Dan Campbell, because as we know, he is not a polished interview. He's going to say what's on his mind. He's going to say what he has in his heart, and it's really reflecting down to the Jamal Williams of the world and down to the Amon-Ra. It's like, you know what? Show me that bravado. Be those types of guys, because that's the type of guy I want to see out on the field every Sunday too. A guy that believes in himself and believes in his teammates.
So look at your championships that you've won in this town with the teams that you've won it with. And it doesn't matter who it is. Where does your rah-rah, where does your engine, where does all that come from? Comes from your roll guys. It comes from your meat and potatoes guys. It comes from the guys that got it, from your line guys, from the guys that are doing the work. You got to be able to allow your best guys to be your best guys. What this is just setting up for me is that you're going to find out 100% if Jared Goff is worth that next contract or not. Because just like Amon-Ra St.Brown said, looking around, we got some weapons.
Right.
All right, kid, go out and prove it. Because it's your ball. They gave you the ball and said, here, you do everything in your power, right? And it's your job.
And also they were like, last year, I don't think we provided you with enough weapons. This year, there's no excuse. Like, we understood what you were dealing with last year with the people you had in front of you and behind you. This year, this is the true let's see it year, and it's almost a prove it year for everybody on the roster yet again.
And it's also too, which you make sense, is what they did with the Anthony Lynn demotion, right? The Dan Campbell, and as we heard, the Ben Johnson, who's the offensive coordinator right now, they found something, that there's a communication, there's a flow, because Jared Goff with his 107 QBR over the second half of the season or something, there's something there which is interesting. So in doing that, I'm sure there was a conversation, hey, what if we put weapons around this guy? What if we protect him first because we need to protect him, but then we put weapons around him? Hey, when's the last time you had a burner on the outside? A burner, this guy can just fly, just separate it? Well, I don't know. Maybe we should,
Never.
Right?
Honestly, I can't think of the last speed, high-end, top-end wide receiver. Honestly, Titus Young is probably the last guy that fell into that category.
So then they're also doing it
and he was clinically insane. So,
yeah, but he was a great football player.
Yeah, deserved more targets than Calvin, though.
Yeah, but honestly, we haven't had these types of weapons.
So that's what and so you see why the team's excited.
Yeah.
So if we're excited and they're excited, they still got to go out and execute, but that's a start.
And I like how they have the Hard Knocks blinders on. I like how that isn't something that they're like, yeah, I can't wait to, it's like, no, I don't give a damn what they're doing on the outside. We're focused on between the lines. They can record all that. They can record, and it's not going to affect our gameplay. It's not going to affect how we approach anything. That's not a distraction, which is a good thing for a young team.
There it is. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a distraction or throw them off. They seem like they know business at hand, and they keep each other accountable. That's what the thing is. Hey, look at me over. Hey, we're not doing that. Oh, okay, sorry. Not that I would know.
I'm looking forward to Hard Knocks, though. Honestly, not only because it's the Lions, but it's going to feel like an extended football season as well. Mm-hmm. We're going to get to see more Lions more often, and I'll take it. More Kool-Aid. I want more Kool-Aid.
I'm surprised they haven't done this sooner.
Hey. No, but it's the perfect storm, right? Where I said I was hoping maybe last year, whatever, but now's the perfect storm, and I think that it worked out that this is the perfect time, right? Where we're talking about these young guys. We want to see these young guys a little bit who they are a little bit more. We understand, so they think that they're putting a team together, that they have offense, and that this is not a guy predicting. This is a guy that played in the year already, right? Amon-Ra St.Brown. So I think that, and especially with the way that the baseball team's doing here, and there's nothing else.
We need
Give me more football.
Please, more football. Oh man, come on, Tigers, get it together, and we're going to talk more. We're going to talk more about the Lions.
Score a run.
Part of their schedule has been released. We know who they're going to be playing the first game. We know who they're going to be playing the last game. We're going to take a look at where they can also get some wins coming up next season. But let me tell you about our friends at the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. So if you are struggling, or you know someone that is struggling, help them out. There's no shame in getting help. It's actually probably the best thing that you can do, and the most honorable thing you can do is acknowledge when you need help. So go do it right now, thesportsma.com, if you want to check it out. They also have a podcast called This is the F Word that goes over fentanyl and the addiction and how that can affect your life. So if you're having an issue, please reach out, thesportsma.com.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. Oh, baby. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
If you're sick of hopping around a bunch of different websites trying to find those best lines, that's where Odds Trader comes in for the best price on every game. Sign up for offers from multiple sports books. So that way you don't have to look if this guy's got +1, this guy's -100 over here. You don't need to do that. Odds Trader does all the hard work, all the research for you. So all you got to do to be the best and smartest better that you can be is go to oddstrader.com right now and check out all the odds that are going on for today's games. Welcome back to Big D Energy, live on the Woodward Sports Network. People in the chat are asking me about kinesiology. Apparently I'm a rocket scientist. Christopher has all these questions for me. Christopher, you don't want to challenge my knowledge.
No.
You don't want this.
Don't do that.
Don't let the appearance fool you into believing that I'm some idiot. And don't let my comments fool you into believing that. I just like to say stupid things to get reactions sometimes, and, it works. So here we are. Lions talk. We're going to continue with it. Amon-Ra St.Brown is excited. Jamal Williams is excited. So when we look at the schedule and look at the teams that we're going to be playing, where do we think we're going to get these wins? It was announced today that we'll be starting the season at home against the Eagles, who absolutely destroyed us last season. So a little bit of vengeance coming that way. And we know, I think the last game of the season is going to be at Green Bay. Those are the only two bookends that we have for sure right now. There's been rumors that we're going to play Miami on Christmas or Buffalo. I heard those two teams perhaps on Christmas. But until I absolutely know, I'm not going to say that's what it is. But we do know that we're playing the Eagles first and we're playing the Packers last. Let's run through some of the other games that we're playing. We're playing the NFC East, so we should have a lot of wins coming there. But Dmac, I know you're on this 34-game clock. I understand that. But yesterday, Braylon Edwards said the Lions are going to win 10 games. 10 games. Do you see that happening this year?
Well, he's a football guy.
He is a football guy, so that's why I had to bring it up. It's not just me, a talking head, saying it. It's a guy that actually played in the league.
I mean, that's the football guy's opinion. I'd be more than ecstatic if that happened. I'd like to see how he pieces us there. But in reality, and I know the NFL's the league where you can go worst to first, and I know you're trying to throw at me, there's been this many teams, and
16 of the last 18 years.
Yeah, and 15 of them are in the Southern AFC South. Hey, I firmly believe there'll be 7. They could be at 7, maybe 8 at the most. Maybe battling that. Obviously, it comes down to I have to take stock in it because Braylon says that. Right. So I would hope that the way that if I say something hockey-wise, that you take stock into it. So he obviously sees something, and I'm speculating. I'll have to talk to him. But he comes from a wide receiver's eyes, right? So he comes from Williams, from Brown, from whatever. So he is saying that to get 10 wins means we can put up points. What does that tell you? That tells you, I think he believes that we're going to be better defensively.
Okay.
Because that's where the miss is, right? Can we agree that we'll be able to put points on the board, we should be able to put more points on the board than we did last year.
We should, right?
And we should be able to cut down defensively because really we couldn't stop. No linebackers, coast to coast. It seems like we plugged up holes. I can see why we're going to be better than 3 wins. Then it's the NFL, man. It all comes down, obviously, how good is your kicker? How good are these things? Are you going to win the games that you didn't win in the past?
Those are the big things, right? Is the coaching going to get you there? Those little errors. And I'm seeing in the chat that Braylon was non-committal. It was actually Ryan or Monty. So the bottom line said it was Ryan or Monty who said it. So you're like, I'm just changing my entire take. No, but I saw the clip from yesterday, and the title had Braylon
Ryan
on it.
Monty, love him to death.
Yeah.
But he's a reporter. Yeah, he's a you.
He's a me.
He's a fan. Super fan. And I like where it is. But the fact is, that might be the best case scenario. Let's just let it play out. Right? And how do you let it play out? Do you really know until you see the full schedule? Then you could speculate on wins and losses and stuff like that.
We know the teams are going to be
They're
playing.
going
We
to
just
be
don't
better.
know.
They're going to be better.
They have to be better, right? They have to be.
They have. Well, you would expect your team every year. They have to be better. But with this roster, looking at what they ended this season with to what they start the season with, you've upgraded. Plus, you got Ragnow back healthy.
Right.
Plus, you got a second-year Sewell.
Yep.
Plus, all these other guys that had time on the field, have stats, another year, know what it's like to go through a year of pro.
And like I was talking with Adam yesterday.
I think they're closer to 10 than they are to 3.
I hope so, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or even 5. I just think they're going to be 7 or 8. And I think that that's a great stepping stone to the next year. And then why? Boom. My clock runs out.
Then game time begins. Like now the real evaluation period.
In my mind, it's playing out the way it is because look at it this way. I bet you there's 10 questions that I have that will be answered. As far as salary cap, as far as quarterback, as far as draft capital, as far as moving forward, as far as second contract, as far as Jeff Kuda, as far as there's answers to be done.
And as far as the defensive line, and like you were talking,
I'm the only one that can
improvement.
put my own clock in my mouth.
Did you have a rib removed to do that?
Don't ask. It's cup crazy, 90s behavior. I told you 4 cups. You just wondered. It's like Rake, and shout out to Rake and Maddie. I was standing beside him at the DCFC game the other night. Tough loss, great game. Is that somebody said, "Oh, I was there for your cup win," and I turned and I said, "Well, which one?"
Please specify, sir.
That's baller. That's a baller move.
That's a great. What were you gonna say, Spence?
So confirmed games when they're playing so far. We have Week 1, September 11th, at home versus Philadelphia. Week 5, October 9th, at New England.
Oh.
Week 12. At home versus Buffalo.
So that's Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Thanksgiving is Buffalo. So we got a couple more in now.
Week 16, Christmas Eve, at Carolina.
Ooh.
And Week 18, we finish off at Lambeau versus the Packers.
But here's the thing. Okay, so Ray here, and then the opening. What's the date of the opening game?
September 11th.
September 11th. At home versus Philly.
9/11.
Yeah, it's an interesting start date.
No, but I mean. That Thanksgiving Day game against Buffalo, right? Which no, I get it.
It scares me.
You're supposed to be scared. They're supposed to be one of the best. You're supposed to But what I'm saying is, if you want an early check to see where you're at, that might be one of those games. I mean, well, that will be
the
one
litmus
of those
test
games,
game.
But just like if you want before the clock runs out, because Thanksgiving, what's that? It's 4 games in, 5 games in.
12 September. It's about what?
So Week 12.
Well, yeah, week 12. Yeah,
so
that's like three games. Yeah, 3 months in.
Because the bye's already been there, right? So, I mean, you're gonna know what this team is.
Oh, that's going to be a great test.
But now,
I just want a Thanksgiving where my family leaves me the hell alone and the Lions perform to where I don't have all my friends and family that are over eating Thanksgiving dinner like, why do you watch this every year? That's all I want, is just for it to be a competitive game that we could win.
You know what I want this year, and you know what I think is before the clock runs out, what I think you can expect is that are we that team that other teams don't want to play? Like,
I think we already are.
I think
we're already there.
I think we've developed that throughout the season. Because why? Because even when we were getting blown up, our guys weren't quitting.
Right.
So in saying that, like when you got 17 games and whatever, you want when you're blowing a team out, you want guys to take it easy a little bit just so you can get through because you're trying to make it through the season. That's not it. So that's where it starts.
Yeah, no, to your point, I think we're already a team that teams don't want to play for that specific reason. Like, you don't want to fight a guy who just keeps getting up. Like, after a while, it's tough. It's hard, and that was Dan Campbell coming into last year. You're going to knock us down. We understand that, but when we get up, we're going to take a kneecap. Then when we get up the next time, we're going to take your legs. And then, and literally he said that, and everybody kind of laughed. The kneecaps became the joke. But he proved that that's the type of team this was going to be throughout the year, and it's fun to watch those guys continuously punch back.
You know what he did? He left the analogy I think that he wanted to make was the Black Knight and the Holy Grail. But
the night you say, yeah.
Yeah, it's
just a flesh wound.
It's only a flesh wound.
Yeah.
Come on, I got my leg.
I'll bite
If
your
you
head off.
haven't seen it, is they're trying to cross the bridge, and the Black Knight comes out, and then he wants to fight, and the guy chops his leg off. Then he's jumping on one leg. Then he cuts his arm off. Then still got an arm, and then he cuts his other arm off. He's jumping on one leg. Come on, fight me, and he's bumping into him. Like, what I'm trying to say is, instead of the kneecaps it came out being aggressive, that we were like, the pit bull, the junkyard dog. No. We're more like the Black Knight, is that you can cut limbs off. We're going to keep coming at you. We're going to get up. We're never going to quit. That's more of the analogy, to turn into that dog, right? Then so because, Stick, you know this, right? Yeah, it's great that I can beat you up, but if you don't stop coming, there's a guy, I tell this story all the time. God love this kid to death, Ryan Vandenbush, who was an NHL tough guy, but we played in junior, and he was 3 years younger than me, and he wasn't as big then when he is now, but he was certainly as tough. Mark Crawford at Cornwall would send him out my last year when I was leading the league in goals and stuff like this, and he'd fight me every shift, want to fight, I'd back down, and I'd hang this kid out, and he couldn't reach me, and I'd tee off on him, and he keep coming back to the point is like, why am I going to fight you even? I can't hurt, like, and then he got bigger, and then you don't want to fight him anymore. But then it's like that resilience, and that's the mentality.
It's that Rudy mentality, why are you going so hard? Listen, it's only practice.
It's like my line. Listen, you can have the first three. If you don't kill me or knock me out, it's my turn. You're never going to get one. I lied.
No, I love that. And honestly, like, you look at Detroit sports history, and throughout the entire Detroit sports history, whenever we're tough, whenever we're mean, whenever we're gritty, that's when we're winning championships. Detroit's never going to win with the finesse team. Even the Russian Five, right? Like, that was looked at as a finesse way of hockey, passing it back.
That's one line.
But yeah, exactly. Then you pair them with the grind line, who's going to grind the hell out of you, and that's where that balance comes from, right? Because if we're all finesse, we're never going to be the badasses. If we're all badass, we're going to miss out on the skill. So that's where your perfect balance came into place. But you look at the bad boys, you look at the 04 Pistons, you look at when the Tigers are good. They're a little bit of grittiness to them, and I love that.
No, absolutely. That's that we used to love that as a grind line. We follow the Russian Five because they'd be skating the other team in circles, or somebody come out and they'd think that they're playing against them, having that offensive game. Then the next thing you know, the puck going in behind them, and they're like, oh, God, not these guys. So that worked out. Regardless of how it works out, we know that this team is excited, and we're all excited, and I can't wait till training camp comes and the hard knocks. But you got to look good, guys. And we broadcast whether you do or you don't from the headquarters globally of Lady Jane's Haircuts. So it's very nice to be able to be done here and walk over and get a king's treatment or a haircut. And you know what? 168 Lady Janes across this great country. You can too. All are open from 10 to 8, 7 days a week. You walk in, you sign in, you sit down. Next thing you know, boom, you're looking perfectly clean. So get to a Lady Jane's near you. Why? Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome. Stick in for the real deal. Neil Rule, Dmac, Spencer, and Fishy Kiwi in the bowl, bobbling it up. We'll be right back. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
We got to talk about that a little bit.
You got to talk about Sticker Genius real quick, too.
Oh, yeah, Sticker Genius. Yeah, welcome to Juicy One. Sorry about that, guys. Sticker Genius. Yes.com. Get there today. Look at the signage. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful in here. So for all your stickers, for all your signage, I don't have my mug here today, but that's where you want to go. 24 hours. Quick flip turnaround. Woodward Sports Network. We're all stickergenius.com. You can be too.
Welcome back to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody that's listening on our app right now, which is available in the Apple or Google Play Store. Just search Woodward Sports Network and download that bad boy. And shout out to everybody that's listening on the Roar, 99.1, 93.5 FM, or 94.7 HD. If you got that HD radio, it comes in so crispy. And we appreciate everybody listening, being a part of Woodward Sports. And a guy that's a big part of Woodward Sports is in here to talk about the Pistons. We just kind of went over what our expectations are of the Lions going into next year. Everybody's excited about that. I wish there was like a Hard Knocks for the Pistons for the NBA too. I'd be all over that. But, Jeff, that's kind of the question we wanted to talk to you about.
Juicy Jeff Iafrate. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. We let him out of the back office every now.
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Can I start? Can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you hear what T. Foss said this morning?
I did. I was a witness.
I was a witness to that statement. All right, because he.
What did he say?
All right, will you give people the Coles notes? And yes, Terry Foster from the Morning Wood, and he's been riling feathers in this town for a long time. And this morning, I was enjoying my almond toast with bananas and honey, and he came out, and I love Terry because he's always, how are you, young man? And he's always been that way. And I'm fine. And I asked him, how'd the show go? And he said, well, I might have brought something up. Let me ask you how you feel. I almost choked on my almond toast. So will you please give people the backstory of what you had to go through, and maybe we can expand on it a little?
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I wasn't eating anything, and I almost choked. So when he said it... And I don't fault Terry. He makes perfect sense. I mean, that's the reality of the NBA. And what he said was, and just for people that didn't hear it, he said, I think the Pistons are on a clock with Cade Cunningham. And because he said, look around the NBA. When I'm going to get into it, what I said back, but he said, look around the NBA. If you're not winning, superstars are going to, mold their own future. If he's not winning in Detroit, he'll leave and go somewhere else. But this is what I said. I said, look at Giannis in Milwaukee.
I was just going to say that. Like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yes, not everyone has to be Kevin Durant. Not everyone has to leave, Oklahoma City in that case, but Detroit in this case, and go to another team to win. Now, in 10 years, if you're not winning games, I get how that can be frustrating. But let's be honest. Like, Cade and his ability, I think he's going to be a big reason why we're winning games. So I don't see that. I brought this up too. In college, he could have went anywhere. Could have went to Duke. Could have went anywhere he wanted. He chose Oklahoma State because his brother was there as an assistant. That just says kind of the humble attitude. He doesn't matter where Cade goes. He'll play at Oklahoma State. Wherever Cade is, he knows I'm going to make a difference. And I think that's what made him so excited to come to Detroit. He's very eager to almost finish what he started. And I think that's the mentality he has, similar to Giannis. So
yeah,
I'm not worried about it.
And I love Terry, but, Terry and I disagree on a lot of things. And sometimes Terry's an old head. And this is when he's showing he's an old head. And and it's fine, but he hasn't really kept up with the NBA. Look at all the teams that are left right now in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Bucks. Homegrown talent, right? Yep. They built that thing from the bottom up. Celtics, homegrown talent. Drafting Jason Tatum, waiting 7 years for him to arrive, and now he's finally here, right? Okay, Warriors, homegrown talent. You draft Draymond Green. You draft Klay Thompson. You draft a Stephen Curry. Okay, they all stayed. The Grizzlies, homegrown talent. Ja Morant, he's staying, and he's going to be there for a long time. Now let's go to who's playing tonight. The Heat. Homegrown talent. I mean, they brought in Jimmy Butler. Mm-hmm. That's true. But everybody else on that roster, 76ers, they were the process. Homegrown talent. None of these guys have left and brought in big stars. The Suns, they brought in Chris Paul, but he's not the star of the team. He's kind of the engine, which makes it all run, but homegrown talent. Ayton, Booker. Then you go to the Mavericks. Luka was a draft night trade. They got him, and they've built around him. So Well, I understand that because Terry's thinking this is still the LeBron and KD show. But it's not. These new kids are different. They're loyal. Yeah. They want to build a brand in the city that they're drafted to because I think once they saw Giannis do it, they know that means more than chasing that ring. And it's kind of become a knock to be a clout chaser, a ring chaser.
Yeah, and any of those teams you brought up, the difference is they got better. Like Phoenix, you talked about, they went and got Chris Paul. Miami went and got Jimmy Butler. And even Ja Morant with the Memphis Grizzlies, they added talent. And not even just being homegrown, they continuously got better. And I kind of see the Pistons doing that same thing. Like you have Cade, you have Sadiq, you have your core. But who says they can't go out and trade for another star? You know what I mean? Like they can still. This is still a building of the process. So I'm not worried about it. I mean,
I guess what's the thing is, and there's a couple things for me, because where basketball and the NBA is the individual sport, where it's a person. So you have to look at the individual. Mm-hmm. If Cade Cunningham, which I've gushed, or if this was Jalen Green or somebody else, which seems more of a mercenary. Like Cade seems so much more Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Absolutely.
Like with his what he wants, what means you like that?
I do. I struggle with that last name too. I never even attempt to say
what he wanted. What he want. I think that you're right too. Now here's the thing. If he's this good of a player, then they are going to get better. Mm-hmm. I guess my question to you, to Terry's point, well, I don't think it's 2 years, but in 6 years or 5 years, if there's no improvement, then would you fault him?
Right.
Would you be mad at Cade Cunningham that gave you everything for 5 or 6 years or whatever, and you didn't put a team around him or give him that great opportunity to win it? Where you didn't?
Yeah, I think those are two different conversations, right?
No, that's what Terry said. Are you on a clock for 2 years? I don't think
2 years. No,
he said by the end of his rookie contract, which I think is even, like to your point, way too soon.
Way too soon to build, because what have we seen in the last since he's got drafted? Even with, like I said, the trade for Bagley Jr. wasn't about the player, it's about the position, and you saw how Cade can change that game and added another element with the big man in there.
Right, you gave him a new weapon to play with.
Here's the whole thing. Cade Cunningham is everything I think he is, because I think he's the leader that's going to be able to glue things together. He's not the fire and the silent assassin, but he's along the lines of what Isaiah was, right? He's going to let his play do the talking, but he can bring a team together.
If we're sitting here talking about Jalen Green, if the Pistons would have drafted Jalen Green, I would say yes. He's probably on his way out now, looking how to get out. But Cade is just completely he's built different.
What name?
Ashton.
What?
Jalen Green.
Oh, okay.
But like Ashton, the trainer, is so active that these guys are so committed to the city of Detroit. I would be shocked if they just up and left because in 4 years it wasn't exactly where they wanted it to be. Now, granted, I do expect them to have some expectations about what this team's going to deliver them, and I fully expect the Pistons to follow through on those promises. Yeah. But Cade is the type of guy that attracts talent, not the type of guy that goes to talent.
And I feel like with all Detroit teams, it's a little bit of it's too good to be true. Like with the Lions as well. Like, oh, well, they're the Lions. And the Pistons, well, they've sucked for all these years. The Troy Weaver hasn't even legitimately gone through an offseason where he's spending big money. Like, they haven't even went out and got a big move and went out and got a big fish yet. Like, they're still in the process. You brought up Marvin Bagley and adding another weapon for Cade. They are not done. The lottery's next week. You don't even know where they're going to be selecting. We could easily have another number one pick. I mean, we're talking so premature at this point.
God, could you imagine if that had? There's no way in hell we get the number one pick 2 years back. I mean, we're not Cleveland. We're not LeBron's baby and the NBA's baby. Because we're not Cleveland. Because it ain't set up for us.
The hockey team takes all the brunt of the action in the lottery draft. We don't need it because we got the guy that's going to pick the guy anyways. So why can't we be lucky? Why?
It's the same thing last year. I mean, you got the number one pick. This year, you land another number one pick. National media won't like it.
But even if we land in the top 3 this year, you're happy. You're happy, right? Last year, it was almost if you land in the top 5, and you saw that. All those guys played out pretty. Mobley, obviously, really good. Suggs even turned out really good. Jalen Green is what he is. But, yeah, there are a lot of fine rookies that came out last year, but I think we got the bell of the ball.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's why he's on my T-shirt today.
Oh, I like that T-shirt.
You like that T-shirt?
T-shirt's underrated, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, dude, where'd you get that?
I forgot the name on the back. Damn it! I'll during the break I'll have you guys look at it because someone sent it here for me, and I want to give them a shout out
with
too.
the buffs. I mean,
yeah, with the buffs. Isn't that dope? And then even the back, they did a great job on the back.
Oh.
Like when I first opened it, this was it. I was like, oh, that's a sweet shirt.
Turn it around.
And then I turned it around, I'm like, oh, that's an even sweeter shirt.
That is sick.
So hell yeah.
That is sick.
But yeah, I will never speak ill of Cade Cunningham just because what I've seen them do in the community already, and you know that's special. That's a connection, and you're already seeing it out of his camp and stuff like that. Like they're tweeting out, "Hey, it's nice in Detroit. What do I do when I go outside?" And it's like they really haven't even experienced the summer in Detroit yet. They're about to see a whole nother side of this city.
Yeah, it speaks to the humbleness. I mean, that's Cade. I mean, he's humble. Obviously, you talk about leadership a whole lot. And I think him being in Detroit, he's loved it. Like, this isn't a market that's going to demand immediate expectations. We know what we have in Cade, and you mentioned Isaiah. That's a great comparison. Just the impact he'll have. So he's going to be a big reason why we're winning games. So it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be something like Giannis. I don't think he'll have the impact like Giannis, but just in terms of staying loyal and building a team around him, that's kind of how I see it.
I think he's going to have as big of an impact on the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if not bigger, they're different players. But I think that when we compare how, you know, like if you look at that Milwaukee team, like you just see how that's a team. And I always think of that, and you always mention homegrown, and I always go Chris Middleton. That was our guy.
He was our second round pick. Yes.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm happy for him, like because he's found, but this community, and it's what it is, and I think it's so much bigger than that as it builds. And here's the one thing: as Kay gets invested more into this community, it's tougher. Like you don't look elsewhere. You look at accomplishing it here.
And I think with Giannis winning the NBA championship, that matters. Like staying with your team and winning, that
100%.
sends a message across the league. And I think guys like Cade, even you can bring up Jalen, all these guys, they look at that. Like they look at the loyalty.
You got to look at who's their influences now, right? Who's this young guy? And you know what? Yeah, I'm sure LeBron, but LeBron's like the Sidney Crosby.
He's the old guy to him, right?
LeBron's the Sidney Crosby, ain't the Nathan McKinnon or the Connor McDavid. Right? So that's where the Giannis is. And you look at some of these guys that are, like you said, Jason Tatum 7 years in. Holy cow.
Right.
And he's still young.
He's only 18.
Yeah.
No, there's a joke in the basketball community that Celtics fans would always go, he's only 18. Wait until he gets older.
But you think about these players that are in the league right now that are like 24, 25, 26, right? LeBron made the decision, what was that, 2010?
Yeah.
2010. So that was 12 years ago. So these guys were like 10 and 12, and you never know how they interpreted it. And growing up from that time till now, being a chaser is a bad thing. You're KD. You went and chased a ring. That's a bad thing. So they've grown up with a different kind of mentality where it's not just about the ring anymore, it's how you get it.
And it's different. It's about they'll put a team together if they need it by adding a guy here and there. You look at, like you mentioned, the Phoenix and the Miamis. They went out. Miami adds a Jimmy Butler to add the Jam.
Right.
Phoenix adds the Chris Paul. You're gonna have to add a couple guys at the end, but
you're not seeing complete overhauls anymore.
Let's see where it is. And if you don't think, and one of the things Terry said too about the influence, he brought up Magic Johnson going to LA and didn't like the coach and stuff like this. Do I think that Cade is in the conversations with Weaver about where they want to do and where they want to go and what they want to do? I do. But at the end of the day, this is Troy Weaver's team, not Cade Cunningham's team. Don't get that twisted.
It's the same thing you bring up with Yzerman.
Don't get that twisted.
Same thing with Yzerman. Yeah, Troy Weaver's not going to let Cade dictate who that coach is.
No, because Troy was there before Cade.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what are your expectations going into this next season? Because I'm kind of like where the Tigers were. So real quick, what are your expectations? I expected them to take a step forward this season. They did not.
Yeah.
What do you expect next season?
I think obviously a lot of it has to do with the lottery where we pick and also the free agency and what they're going to do in free agency. But I will say this. I think bottom line, no pun intended, they have to make the play-in. I think that's reasonable.
Rob Show.
I was going to say, Big D energy, this is the Big D energy the Pistons will bring. They got to at least make the play-in. I think that's the goal. You can't be in the same area as this season where you're in another lottery situation. This team's going to get better, guys. The players are going to get better. Cade's going to improve. So absolutely, expectation should be the play-in tournament as a bare minimum.
And if you want to make your day better, one way to do it, get that energy in your system, and that's why we roll with Cintron, the official energy drink of the previous mentioned Detroit Pistons. Cade Cunningham plays for them, and the Red Wings, and now it's available in Kroger. So if you're out today, you're doing your grocery shopping, make sure you stop by a Kroger, pick them up, 2 cans for just $4 right now at participating Krogers. Go support Cintron.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader Bet Tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
We all know Cade should have been Rookie of the Year, but you know the saying, Detroit versus everybody.
Uh-oh, Cunningham all by himself.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, you don't have to get that butt crack full of sand down at Belle Isle. You can go get your beach tan at Chili Peppers Tanning, and they're celebrating 20 years of sunshine. Join Big D Energy's Darren McCarty and Neil Rule on May 20th from 11 to 1 at their Troy location. John R. Plus, there's going to be a grand prize contest where you could win $20,000. They got 26 locations, but on the 20th, we will be at the one in Troy on John R. So make sure you come out, say hi, and get your tan on at Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers tan.
Thank you, Fish. Appreciate that. Welcome back to Big D Energy.
Speaking of that, Fish, get in there, get a base up. I don't need you frying. I don't need a fish fry out here as the weather gets hot. You got some skin that you might need a little bit of a base. We might have to go down there or get some of the heavyweights lotion.
Okay.
Make sure you get the right look. Give them the sunscreen.
Be
lotion.
careful what lotion these guys offer you, please.
Sunscreen.
That ain't lotion, Spence.
That Australian gold, man. That's what it's all about.
The Spencer White.
Yeah.
I do like a good fish sandwich. Ooh,
fair enough.
It has to be beer batter fish. Can't be fried.
Hard left. Let's go.
Beer batter fish. Ooh, wait. Fish sticks are pretty good too.
Fish sticks are pretty good. We got to do the Fish Stick podcast. I mean, we've been talking about it for way too long. I want Fish to lead the podcast, and I'll just sit there and commentate on it. The Fish Stick podcast.
I love it.
Wow,
he won't do it though. I've asked him he won't do it. Why won't you do the podcast with me, Fish?
Lunch with Fish. Just watch Fish eat.
A Lunchable with Fish?
Lunchables with Fish.
Lunchables.
You break down Lunchables. Why there's a sheer greatness to it.
Why the
pizza are the best.
Yeah, pizza is good.
Pizza is very good.
All right, Dmac. Seider is a finalist for the Calder Trophy. Does he have it locked up is the question that we're asking to you. And we actually, right now, we have a Twitter contest going on at Woodward Sports where we're giving away a Seider jersey. So if you want to go to our Twitter right now, retweet that. Make sure you tag some friends and follow us. You will be in the running for your very own Seider jersey. But what do you think, Dmac? Should you get the Calder?
Screw the Wings, so I mean, there's no such thing as a lock. I like all the Michael Bunting age jokes I see on Twitter. People are relentless because he's like a 27 or 28-year-old rookie. But in my mind, there's no question to play defense at the level he did with the points and playing all the minutes and everything that he's done and he's been. But I'm scared that flash and pizzazz and highlight goals and, the Zegras is great, but in today's NHL, to be able to play defense and to come in your rookie year and have that impact and have comparisons to Victor Hedman and what I've seen, yeah, you can call me biased or whatever else, but there's no question. But then it comes back to, like I said, did you pull up my Twitter the other day where I referenced Pulp Fiction?
Oh, I can try to find it.
Yeah, so if you pull it up. I put this after, if you saw, I was down at Keyworth for the DCFC game when the draft came in, and, eighth picks where we were supposed to be. We don't get any luck. We're going to save that luck for the Pistons lottery draft. But we'll find the right guy.
Right.
That I'm not worried about it because it's the guy at the helm. When we're talking about this, I I worry about it because here's what, and here's the blessing, right? Because I think it's between Zegras and Seider, even though Bunting had all these numbers, but there was so Makarov won the Rookie of the Year as like a 30-some-year-old when the Russians came over, and that left a bad taste.
I was gonna say, isn't Bunting like 30 years old? But I'm pulling it up right now.
Right. So
I love that though. You love those stories.
No, I get it, but in the whole scheme of things, you can finish second or third. You don't win because it's not to the context of what the Rookie of the Year means. And I'm biased because he's my guy and Seider, but I don't think it's a question from what he's done. Looking at the NHL. This is the NHL. So we'll wait and see. I don't think to Mo Seider it means, he'll be grateful if he wins it, but win or lose, it's not going to, change his mentality either way.
See, like when we're talking about the Pistons, we just were talking about Cade Cunningham. Here's Darren McCarty's tweet. Yep, it takes, if you want to read it, because you wrote it.
Take it in, the take it in the where it continues. But there was time we didn't know if we could just time, right? So I'm talking here, the lessons learned makes you a quick study. And when you understand this is the way Bettman and the NHL treat the Red Wings.
Right.
Right, where it's just common knowledge.
Bring out the GIMP is the picture below it.
Bring out the GIMP. We are the league's GIMP. This is Bettman hockey. It's almost to the fact that we have Steve Yzerman, so we don't need any help. That's how it's sort of looked at.
Right. And you're comfortable sliding into that 8 spot? Do you think there's enough talent at that level, or just faith in Stevie?
Faith in Stevie.
Okay.
Because look at, you're talking about Lucas Raymond, you're talking about Mo Seider. Those are 4 and 6 picks. So there's got to be talent there. The pressure now, which I wouldn't give this guy all the pressure, because he wanted it for every important face-off in his career. Chris Draper, Director of Amateur Scouting.
Yep.
Right to the centerman of the grind line. The heat's on him. Find that next guy. Keep drafting those guys. The right guys that are playing, because all these guys, they're all doing the work. There's no person out there watching games and doing it that I have more faith in than Chris Draper, just like Steve Yzerman. So whoever's going to be there, you're going to get the right guy. Now what, if you're Neil right there, I would say, hey, Neil, where are we at with the war chest, the draft capital, the salary cap? He'd be like, bro, we could sign 2 guys at the max value, right? Which means that the greatest thing Steve Yzerman does is every time you see all these little trades here and there for not players, but he has capital money. So he picks off a draft pick that enables him to move around. So in the NHL, more than anything else, right? Yeah, first rounders are important, but it's your second, third, and fourth, and fifth rounders and guys that you build the team around that are, as you see in these NHL playoffs, the guys that step up.
I asked Adam yesterday, too, and I'll propose it to you. Does the coach matter about who they're going to draft at that number 8 slot? Do they need to have the coach in place before the draft? Because in hockey, you kind of want to draft to the system, right?
In hockey, not so much.
Okay.
In hockey, not so much, because unless you're drafting at the very top where it's a guy that's going to come in and play, you're gonna develop a guy who's going to play in the Swedish League for a year. He's going to play in Grand Rapids or... Right, because you want to be drafting in the middle to the late round. Steve Yzerman said it himself. You don't have very many picks if you do it the right way at the top of the draft. So I would expect, though, Stick, and I've said it all along, I expect to hear who the new coach is before the draft so that doesn't come into play.
Okay.
Do I believe that it helps the process? Immensely, but it's not the end-all, be-all.
Got it. Okay.
Right? But I believe the coach will be in place, and the person drafted, the conversation, he is our system guy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But it doesn't matter.
If Trotz ends up being the coach, they may go defense, right?
But look at in this particular instance with the Red Wing organization.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a coach right now, like to draft, because you have everybody else that knows exactly what to draft. Now, you bring the coach in, he might have an idea, or somebody else, and he might have thoughts that you respect because he's your head coach.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. The Lions did it. They brought the head coach in before they got the GM. So sometimes you can reverse engineer these things, and they still work out fine.
What did you just say? The Lions did it.
Uh-oh.
No.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I would say that it could work out, it could not work out, but the one thing is you don't want to hang your hat on what the Lions did.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, but 2 years, because that could have absolutely backfired.
I thought it was strange. I thought it was really weird.
Right? Now it seems like it worked out, but yeah, that you might have got lucky.
Yeah, it's tough when you, like I said, when you try to reverse engineer those types of things. But either way, if we get Trotz, we're going to go defense, I think, in the draft because he's a defensive coach. And who else provides you great defense, Dmac?
Well, Guardian Alarm does. And, they keep you safe and give you peace of mind no matter where you go, whether you're at home or on the road. 24 hours a day keeps the monitoring out. So make sure everything that you deem important, safe, commercial, residential, it don't matter. So if you want to be part of Big D Energy Woodward Sports family, I need you to call this number. 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Losers and idiots that Big Detroit should not have Thanksgiving Day football.
Exactly, and you can program your Guardian Alarm to talk to you just like Fish does, but I need you to call 1-800. Stay out. All right.
Stay the hell out.
So stay the heck out. There it is. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners of the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice. Hey, we all know Sam Howell's favorite food is chicken, and we know my man's favorite food, fish, is chicken. So you got to go with Wingstop because they have the best chicken. That's why they are the snobs. They just have better wings. Whether we're talking traditional or we're talking that Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper, your mouth is watering just thinking about it right now. Get it for lunch, get it for dinner, get it for a late-night snack. Just get yourself some Wingstop today. Go to wingstop.com and get your order in. Woodward Sports Network, Big D Energy. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule today. We have Darren McCarty, four-time Stanley Cup champion, on the desk, along with Fish.
I didn't mean to.
Four-time cribbage champion of his grandparents' house. Right, Fish? You play cards, Fish?
No.
Okay. Well, then I lied.
I was going to say, if you play crib, I'll crush you. I'll crush you. I got crushed my whole life by my grandmother.
Dude, it's such a grandma game, cribbage.
It's awesome.
Yeah, my grandparents used to play Pinochle. Pinochle was the hot card game when I was growing up.
Mine's all about euchre. My family's all about euchre.
I love that. We always had like 3 people in my family that played euchre. We could never have the 4th, and my sister just never wanted to learn.
Yeah.
So did you never?
My grandma used to have me steal my grandpa's deal.
I don't like 3-handed euchre.
Oh, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. You steal the deal.
She would my grandpa would just be not paying attention and stuff. My grandma would just push the cards over to me and I would just steal his deal.
Thank Grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah, euchre's such a great game. I learned how to play that when I was on the 7th grade wrestling team in the back of the bus. That's what we did on the way to wrestling meets and stuff like that. We played euchre.
We were doing drugs at the back of the bus. Just kidding.
Well, different strokes for different folks. Hey, man. I ain't here to judge, as I can't. Let's go. Here we go. How much slack will Al Avila be given when it's time to place the blame? And I don't think it's when it's time. I think it is time to place the blame. He already had heat coming on him into this season, and we all expected growth this season. Didn't have to be leaps and bounds, but it had to be something tangible that we could actually talk about. And I ain't seen it. You ain't seen it. Nobody with eyes has seen it. So is Al Avila the sacrificed lamb in this situation, right?
Wait. Sacrifice lamb, or how about just lamb? Just slaughter the lamb.
Just slaughter it?
The biggest thing is when we brought up, do you still have what you showed that the crack staff of Woodward went behind where what we got in trades for all our big name players and then players we've signed in free agency and where guys are now? What a joke.
Crazy.
What a joke to see how bad. And he's been there the whole time, and I don't care who's been holding his hand, how much he hasn't been. It's time for a change. Even if he is 1,000% not to blame. You need a new look. Right? You need a new look. It's just the same thing. Because you know what? Who's the GM? I ain't going to the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just the
same old.
What's embarrassing? You lose.
There you go. Sorry, there's that graphic for you.
So the graphic you can see if you're not listening.
So in 2017, we traded Justin Verlander for Jake Rogers, Daz Cameron, and Franklin Perez.
I mean, great talent. Just
JD Martinez, 2017. Lugo. I can't read that other name.
Sergio Alcantara and Jose King.
I love Contra.
Again, great talent.
Let's see. Avila Wilson. We got Candelario, which is okay. That's one guy that's on the list. When we trade away Justin Upston, we got Long and Rodriguez. I don't know who those guys are.
There's nobody.
Come on. And look at the Toledo, 7-day IL, retired, coaching Little League right now. Yeah, we lost on all those trades.
When's enough? I mean, it's the same thing as dude, how do you, let's pretend Al Avila and Jeff Blashill, okay? So we all came to the conclusion, and even Stevie, the regression, and it was time for a change. What Al Avila's done or whatever is hid behind, when you play it out in the open like that,
isn't that crazy?
How's he still here?
That is the question.
Other than he pulls the strings that the marionette at the top wants in Chris Ilitch, because then it's not. You got to understand, Chris Ilitch isn't his dad. His love of the game, it's a business. The baseball's a business. It's not a passion.
See, and I have a rough time speaking on this because I know Ronnie Ilitch, who's part of the Ilitch family.
I know Ronnie too. I know Ronnie. I love Ronnie.
And we've had a conversation on the side of this, and he's like, people accuse my uncle of being cheap. He's not cheap. He's willing to spend money. And we saw this offseason, he spent a little bit of money. He opened up the checkbook. So I don't want to blame Chris Ilitch, but you got to, like you said, sometimes you just need change for the sake of change, and I'm normally not that guy. But when you've seen repeated failure. We're going back to 2017 failures. 5 years of failures. That's enough to show to me this isn't change for the sake of change. This is the right move because this is not the right guy.
Well, it just shows you that things are, unless a change is made, and it seems like he has to be the guy, whether it's how can it not be deserving? Because you have to show me as a fan that you see what I see.
Right.
Right now, you don't. It tells me you don't care. You do not care. Yes, you signed Javi Baez and traded for Austin Meadows after Riley Green went down. That's great. Where does that show me you care? You show me things like this. It shows me you don't care. Why can I not DM the Tigers?
I think we all can at this point.
I can make some awful deals like that.
I was going to say, I could definitely put together a losing team.
And to the point, what's frustrating, right? We're talking about, goes back to somebody saying, they play 66% of the games. Well, you can't even. You got 8 games against Oakland and Baltimore. You can't even beat Oakland in a series, and in fact, you get shut out in 2 games. Blown out your rear end. Seriously, it's disgusting.
It is tough to watch, and especially, I was filling in for you 2 weeks ago. I think it was on Cinco de Mayo, and Neil Rule put the nail in the coffin. He's like, this season's over. And I'm like, whoa, it's way too early to be talking like that. But here we are just a week later, and I'm thinking the same damn thing. I'm like, man, mathematically, it's very hard for these guys, but baseball's such a long season. If they go on a little tear, a 10-game winning streak, all of a sudden
where's
they're back
that put you? No.
It puts you back
They can still do what they did yesterday and be the best, or last year and be the best team since All-Star Game or since May or whatever, with the best record. And then where does that leave you? At the bottom of the pile.
Yeah. We're not getting there.
What do they say? You can't win the division in May, but you sure as heck can lose it. And you know what? You can shoot yourself out that you're out a week after Mother's Day. joke.
Yeah, and you're seeing it with the attendance. You're seeing it with just
Well, that's the beauty.
Yeah,
that's the beauty, right? Because it's hard for all of us with our Lions fandom, and you talk about, well, just don't go to the games and whatever. No, because it's so much bigger than that on a Sunday, and it's tradition and stuff. With the baseball team, we ain't afraid to not show up. No. So if you're going to get your point across or whatever else, if that's the leading thing, because you know why, Stick? Because we will show. If you put a product down there, we will show up.
You never played in front of an empty Joe Louis, did you?
I never played in front of a not sold out Joe Louis.
Right. Yeah. See, I was talking yesterday about that because you think as a Tiger player, right? You see opening day, you see 42,000 people in there. You see, like, man, you're looking around like, this is what it could be like if we supply a winner to this city. And then you fast forward a month later, and there's 2,000 people there. Like, as a player, that's got to be a gut check too, right? I mean, unfortunately, you can't answer that because you've never gone from sellout to what LCA was when they first opened for the Red Wings. You know?
But don't get it twisted. Is that we had to perform every night? It's like playing No, you're going out there, and the best thing about Wings fans is they're fickle but knowledgeable. They'll give you as much as, but if you don't bring it, and that's why you learned how to use Joe Louis as an asset, and having the most fans in the league, having 20,000 plus every night. When you learn how to use it to your advantage, it's a rush.
Yeah, I feel it when I'm in the crowd. I get the goosebumps. I get the energy. That's one of the favorite things that I love about live sports. And it's, to me, also the same thing with concerts and music. Like, very rarely in my life do I get that goosebump feeling. But at live sporting events and at live music events, every single time I'm there, I get goosebumps. And it's just part of the magic of it. But when you lose that, your team kind of loses that energy behind you too, and it sucks. It's tough.
No, it is, because what do they have to go on the mental part of it, and especially because what happens, that's usually the teams that are losing. They don't have the fans come out and stuff like this, so again, just hampers down.
Yeah, it's just like a snowball effect almost, and it sucks that we're sitting here 2 weeks into May.
So here's the question. Somebody said, Dmac, you need to have an Avila clock. Well, what would I set it at?
0.0.
No, but I mean, realistically, do you think you could set it at, when's the All-Star break?
No, not for a while.
Middle of July.
Middle of July. So is it a 60-day clock? Can I put a 60-day clock on it? Will there be a move made, or is it because...
How about you just put All-Star break on it?
I don't think he's going to make a move, but it'd be nice to...
I'm not talking about making a move. I'm talking about getting him the hell out.
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like make an impactful trade or something.
Avila, why are you still here?
Hey, you know what? I'm not going to put the clock, but put the poll up.
Okay.
Right? Do you think Dmac should start an Avila clock by All-Star? Like, I want to know, is 100% we agree he should be gone.
Yeah.
By All-Star break, will he be gone? Is my clock, All-Star break clock, realistic, or is it end of the season? Avila gone before the All-Star game or after the end of the season?
I think you got to bring in, with baseball, because it's such a long season, I think you got to bring in somebody at least mid-season to start racking up what they want to do going into the winter time. We got to have a plan from here on out. It can't just be, we'll wait and see, because we've done that for 5 years, and all we've seen is bad baseball. And as a baseball fan and as somebody who fights to get people to watch baseball, it's so tough to be like, yeah, watch the Tigers, they're great. No, it's awful. You can't even get people hooked anymore because the product is just so bad. What's up, Fish?
All right, I'm going to bring some sadness into your lives now.
Aw.
I don't think Avila will get fired at the middle of the season. And if the Tigers do what they did last year, I think he stays. So we need to hope the Tigers suck really bad like the Cincinnati Revs have, because I just can't see Avila not leaving, or I can't see Avila leaving if the Tigers
You're really hooked on that
progress.
they can do what they did last year, right? Like you've brought that up several times. You believe that this team can kind of go on a run late season?
Yeah, I think that. I mean, if they did it last year with a worse team, this year they're better, right? You would say they're better, yeah?
The record would not indicate that.
Well,
we think they're better, but they're not.
The record wouldn't indicate it, but the players that they got over the offseason would indicate it. So I think there's a chance that they could.
On paper, better. In real life, worse. How's that?
Okay.
This is a pretty
it's pretty good.
Standard time as far as what did I say?
Wait, what were we talking
On
about?
paper, good. On field, no bueno. That's the thing. So here comes a case of, this team looks great on paper. So let's hope our Lions are exact opposite.
Right.
They look good on paper and they're even better on the field.
Because my fear is if they do the same thing they did last year, people are going to start praising Avila like we did last year.
Yeah.
Saying, he turned it around. And then everyone's going to be like, or everyone in the office is going to be like, Avila's great. We're going to keep you for another year because you turned it around in July. So you hope the Tigers at this point go, what do they have, 80 games left? Or not 80 games left. They got 120 left.
Here's a great point.
You hope they go 0-120.
Somebody said, Dmac, the clock shouldn't be on Avila. It should be on Chris. Not that Chris will be gone. Chris makes a decision.
That's fair. Yeah.
I really, and this is what, because here's the thing. If you're losing your fan, you're not losing your fan, we're just all checked out. How do you check them back in?
I was so excited.
What's the move to check them back in? Usually it's make a trade. Usually it's sign a guy.
Right.
How about fire your GM?
That's what I'm saying.
Look what it did. And here's the thing. We can't wait like the Wings to the end of the season. I told you at the end of the season the decision would be made because it didn't benefit anything in the short term. This one, if you did it right now, Chris, it would help because it would get some of us to go, okay, at least you care, you realize.
Right.
Bring back Dave Dombrowski.
Oh, God. I would love Dave Dombrowski to come back.
What's with the recyclables?
Because the guy got us there.
I know he could do it.
That'd be like bringing Scotty back. Like, hell yeah, I'm down with that.
Don't compare Dombrowski to Scotty.
All right. Sorry, D-Man. Damn, man.
So, how about that Strawberry Fest?
Yeah, you know what looks good on paper and in real life?
By the way,
Strawberry Fest, baby.
Big Boy.
Going on at Big Boy. Not only do they have delicious waffles, they got that strawberry bacon chicken wrap, French toast, hot cakes, and they got nacho wrap, too, and a strawberry salad. All sounds so good, especially on a hot day like today. So make sure you order from Big Boy. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert. They got it.
At Wingsnob, staying humble's not our forte. We just have better wings. We're back at it again with our crispy golden brown fries and our famous boneless wings. Juicy, tender, hormone-free chicken. Your favorite signature sauces with no bone. Just when you thought Wingsnob couldn't get any better. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wingsnob. We just have better wings.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Welcome back to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule. He will be back tomorrow, and then I'm filling in for Dmac tomorrow. So
Speaking of Neil Rule, he's actually calling a game in the next hour and 29 minutes.
Neil Rule is a very busy
hour and
man.
19 minutes.
Darren McCarty up here, and we wanted to do this yesterday. I think this is awesome because when I sit up on this stage, I think it's really cool to talk to Darren McCarty, a former athlete. When I'm on with Braylon, it's cool to talk about the behind-the-curtain things that I don't know about in sports because I never made it past high school sports. So if you got a question that you want to ask Darren McCarty about anything from the Red Wings past, anything from sports, getting drafted, drinking out of the cup, or just life stuff too, you can ask him right now in the chat, and we'll go through and ask a bunch of questions to Dmac and really just get to know the man behind the four rings. So if you got a question for Dmac, drop it right now in the chat and we will ask him. And also if you got a question for Spence or Fish or myself, you can throw that in there. But really it's about getting to see behind the curtain from a professional athlete, because not many of us ever get to sit down and interview professional athletes. We kind of take it for granted around here that we got a 4-time Stanley Cup champion just sitting here every day. We can pick his brain about anything, and Darren's probably the most open book I've ever been around. So, Darren, you ready to answer?
I see one right here. I'll start with this. The away fan who I appreciate you, bro, because you're always asking for some stories and stuff, and you know what? That's why we got to fire back up Grind Time with Darren McCarty. But you mentioned it earlier. Somebody mentioned that they were watching the highlights and other than the game winner. You know, everybody says, what's your favorite goal or whatever. And I'm a huge history guy, and I believe that in chronology, right? So if March 26th doesn't happen, now I didn't have to score the overtime goal. Somebody did. We had to win the game.
Somebody did.
Right? So, but the fact that I'm not trading that one in, so that's my favorite one. But somebody brought up earlier my hat trick against Patrick Waugh in the game one of the conference finals. My favorite goal of that hat trick is the second one, shorthanded down the wing, slap shot, top of circle, right under the bar. Why is that? Because the only thing you get out in life is what you put in. That was before I went off the ice, I practiced every skate. Off the ice, I come down either whichever end and then top of circle and have to hit. Some days you're off, some days you're banging it off the bar, some days you're taking it 10 times to do it. But, it was crazy because the morning skate of that day, I hit it right in the same spot. I was like, man, if I get a chance, I'm burying it.
Oh, that's got to be amazing when it comes full circle like that, too. Just something you've been practicing, working on, and then it finally pays off in a big moment.
It does. And I got to mention this, too. I scored a hat trick in my first game on my comeback in Grand Rapids, right, for the Griffins. And the feeling that I had, and I scored the third goal was much from the same spot of the goal that I'm talking about, except I went low blocker, which was my shot that Mike Clem, my Bantam coach back in Leamington, Ontario, was the first one to show me as a shooter or whatever to aim for spots. Don't worry about the goal. You're trying to put it in a certain spot of the net.
Right.
Nobody there, so you can go to it. Right when your mind's eye. It's like in basketball. Guys get to a spot, they don't have to know where the basket is. It's like you watch the middle infielders turn into double plays. They don't have to see the bag; they know where it is.
Just muscle memory at that point.
Same thing in hockey. So when I scored, and it's great because I got a bobblehead down there too of sort of looking at the sky. It was just one of those moments where if you know that big things are ahead because you've had them before, that was sort of a testing moment. So,
all right, Dmac, how did it feel about being on a video game?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Bobbleheads, hockey cards, and video game guys. Now, your video game guy, when you first break into the league, back in the 90s, sucked. Yeah, really sucked. But as you get better, your guy gets better, and to the point that in 2022's last year's NHL, I was on the all-grit team. So I'll give you this. Whoever makes those video games has always shown Dmac some love and respect, and I appreciate it. But yeah,
the toughness at 100.
If everybody wants to know, yes, we all play with our own characters because there's nothing cooler than having somebody create your own guy for you, and you have to work your stats up. So,
how many likes for Stick to get a chair? Oh God.
You know what?
Oh,
No. Here's how it goes.
Oh God.
100 likes. And Stick can hand me the chair, and I'll hit easy with it.
Easies now we're talking.
Dude, but it's a heavyweight guy, and you know what? I would put it on Spence, but he's got responsibilities. So being a great tag team, and part of it is Easy has to know your role, shut your mouth, take a chair. But I think if we get to 100 likes, we might be able to get Easy in here.
Get the clock that's only 11 more likes, so I think we can get there. Let's see, Dmac, what was your pregame go-to music list? And you said Shanny was the guy that kind of controlled that in the locker room?
Chelly was.
Chelly was the guy.
No, but for me, a lot of us, I mean, back in the day, it was all like Kid Rock, Eminem, all the stuff. I loved the Wu-Tang.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Method Man used to get me fired up. But then metal. Go to, let the bodies hit the floor, whatever. Like fired up. Maybe some old school Ozzy or some Black Sabbath or something with some heat music on it. Let's get the temperature rising, get the vibrations up.
I like that. Two more questions. Dmac, what got you into playing hockey?
My mom.
Your mom?
My mom was the first captain for the Essex Blue Angels over in Canada, so that's the And the total story is, hey, I didn't play my first year because I didn't like the garter belt, wouldn't wear it, so I didn't get to play. So good thing that I fought through that.
Yeah. My first football practice when I was in Little League, my mom wanted me to have like a nice full belly, so I could get out there, ate a wet burrito, and my God, I almost quit football the very first day I played it. Like after that first lap, I was dying.
Can I ask what a wet burrito is?
A wet burrito is just a burrito with chili over the top of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just got chili all over it. And let's see, Dmac, does stick remind you of Jimmy Hart? Am I the mouth from the South? Hell yeah, I would love to be a manager because
he's way more annoying.
I could run my mouth with the best of them. I do know that. What's the security guy out there checking?
It's a Cranbrook security guy.
Oh,
so he's
man.
highly paid.
Cranbrook security. Look out, baby.
That's a private school. I saw one in here. I think it was a pregame meal. Was always pasta.
Pasta.
Pasta,
carb up, baby.
Yeah, carb up. Most of us should be easy as the meat at, we used to go to Andiamo's. Or first we went to Roma's, and then Drapes and I always have a hard time getting from Roma's back to the riverfront before the boiler kicked in. all the Italian spices. So Roma was our go-to, and then Andiamo's was our go-to too.
Awesome. Well, we're going to do that again coming up next week. Ask Dmac. So if you got some more questions, whenever you're watching the show, think about them and put them in the chat because, like I said, for me, it's cool to see behind the curtain of what a professional athlete went through, especially a champion, and what they can provide us with knowledge-wise as fans. And coming up next, we are going to talk about the NHL playoffs last night. Bunch of comebacks last night.
Leafs!
Absolutely crazy. I can't believe Fish is rooting for the Leafs right now, but that's okay. But if you want to bet on more playoff games, there's only one place to do it. It is mybookie.com. They will get you the best odds. Plus, if you're a new sign-up, they will hook you up with some free money. All you got to do, enter the promo code Woodward when you get to mybookie.com, and they will hook it up, and you can bet on pretty much anything, anywhere, anytime at mybookie.com. It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
The official sticker partner of Woodward Sports. When it comes to stickers and signage, think Sticker Genius. We support this local Detroit business, and we are excited to show you our latest project, the Planet Fitness Studio from Sticker Genius. If you need custom stickers, wall graphics, window graphics, and plenty more, reach out to our friends at Sticker Genius. We at Woodward Sports couldn't be any happier with the service they provided us. They were quick, easy to deal with, and super professional. Head to stickergenius.com today.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Welcome back to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, and we just found out who made this Cade Cunningham shirt, and it was Joyous Sin sent this to us. Joyous Sin. So I'm not sure how you can find the shirt or whatever, but a lot of people in the comments like that. So yeah, it's a cool shirt. We got some cool Cade Cunningham shirts too at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop or store, and you can go in there and select all the fine merch that we have. Got a whole creative team in the back doing some fun stuff. So if you want a cool t-shirt, woodwardsports.com. All right, final segment of the show, Dmac, kind of going over, last night was crazy in the NHL. I mean, a 2-0 lead comeback, a 3-0 lead comeback, just non-stop comebacks last night. Why?
It's been a great series because it's never over. Obviously, you look at the Florida game against Washington, Washington's kicking themselves, having a 3-0 lead on the road, but you know, we're talking about home ice advantage. You saw them use that to their advantage, and the same thing with Calgary. Right, down early 2-0 in a low-scoring game, but to be able to come back, and you know, you get guys stepping up. Marciapani gets his first of the series, and to me, that's the dogfight series. You look at the other games. Rangers did what they needed to do to stay alive, so you know, goes to that. You know, you would expect that Florida, with Washington licking their wounds tomorrow after blowing that lead, but they're defending Stanley Cup champions, so there's something that needs to be said that they can still get there and they're resilient. So that's not out of the weeds. Obviously tonight, big game, Toronto. Tampa Bay and Toronto.
That's gonna be a crazy game, man. You think?
Yeah,
you
Tampa's favored.
You think Toronto can knock out Tampa? I mean,
Well,
they're up 3-2.
No, I understand. I mean, I would think that if they're going to do it, they got to do it tonight. So, and this is a huge test. I will give Toronto all the props in the world to get out of the first round against these guys. It's sort of what I look to right now in series is the little storylines that are dictating to the why this will help you propel. So Toronto, if they get through this series and win tonight, they could go on to win the cup. Because they've got to a next level. It's sort of like the Lions winning a playoff game. But again, they're up against it. Defending Cup champions. You got Vasilevsky in net. The best bet on the board, 16-0, right? Can Toronto break the streak of never losing back-to-back in a playoff career? You guys are the gamblers out there. That's what you got to go against. Do you go with the trend or do you go against, is this Toronto's time and place? Because here's the thing. Toronto loses tonight. They lose Game 7. So
this is their Game 7 tonight, you feel?
Game 7. Same thing with Edmonton. But Edmonton's up against it too. Now, Edmonton's going to face a different beast tonight. Going home, having to win. Mm-hmm. Now, the beast that they're going to face is if they get behind early or they don't come out to a good start. That's where the fan base can implode on you. Toronto's not in jeopardy of that because they're up and the team will try to root them for a comeback.
And they got the home game, Game 7.
Right. So.
Well, the NHL playoffs have been fantastic. And I think it was Brett Hall who said this many, many years ago when he was playing for the Red Wings. Said that during the regular season, NHL players maybe give like 80%. But come playoff time, it's 110%. Do you feel that people peel back during the regular season and go harder?
No, you pick your spots.
Okay.
Right? So it's this whole thing as we were talking about the Lions earlier, never taking a playoff even when they're blown out. Those are the times when you cruise. Like, during a game or during a season, you got to pick your spots, especially, coming down to it. Why am I going to do this in the big picture of that? Do I need to fight this guy right now in a 4-1 game, or can I turn him down because we're getting ready for the playoffs in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I like to equate it to, like, the regular season's a marathon.
How about this?
You're not going to push yourself too early, and then the playoffs are a sprint. You're going hard as hell.
Here's the answer, right? It's, you're in first place or whatever. There's no jeopardy. There's no jeopardy in you losing your playoff position or anything like that. So you go out and you know what? Maybe you don't dive in front of that puck that you could block. You let that shot go regular season. In the playoffs, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. If you have to put your face in front of that puck, it's a done deal.
So it's just, it's intense, and that's what I love about NHL.
It's giving everybody from your top guys.
Yeah, it's
right. So
you could tell as a casual hockey fan watching, you could tell.
Here's the thing: I didn't have the luxury, talent-wise, to not to give it 100% every time. But guys like Brett Hall and Sergei and your stars, you want them to pace themselves at different parts of the year,
right?
Because during the playoffs, if you're going to win, Brett Hall's got to block shots too.
That makes complete sense. Who do you got winning tonight? Out of all the games tonight, Hurricanes, Bruins.
Yeah, I got to think that both teams have played really well at home, but going back into Boston, they've proven that they can hold up home ice. But Carolina, you want to get rid of Boston's just pesky. You want to get rid of them. So I'm going to take Carolina tonight.
And Leafs Lightning. I know you said the Leafs have to win. Are they going to win?
Well, they don't really have to win. It's just going to make it. You don't want all that pressure coming back home.
Right.
In front of your face, because then you're going to feel in a Game 7, which Edmonton has tonight in a Game 6, but it's more accentuated, I guess.
So we'll stay on that. Edmonton and the Kings. Who you got?
Man, you gotta. I can't think Edmonton's done yet.
Okay.
I have more confidence in Toronto than I do in Edmonton.
Mm-hmm. And then the Wild and the Blues.
Neil told you guys at the beginning of the season, go to Game 7 and then decide who you want. So Who's got to win tonight?
The Blues or the Wild to
Wild
force a
has
game
to
7
win to go to Game 7.
Yeah.
So the Wild win.
The Wild win. All right, I like that philosophy. Every one of these series is at 3-2, so I mean it's been a competitive NHL playoff so far. Dmac will be watching intently tonight. I'm sure posted a video of him watching at home, going nuts on our Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram page.
Mike G, best post hangout is the Post Bar.
Ah, the old Post down there.
Stop it. You would go to Cobo Joe's when you couldn't get a beer, though. So I would walk out and go to Cobo Joe's and drink and hang out there because it was always too busy at the Post.
Yeah, my buddy Corey McKay used to bartend down there at the Post, and Mike Jones and all them. That was always a good time at the Post.
Yeah.
Always a good time at the Post downtown.
Was the B Pizzle hangout.
The B Pizzle. I love that. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to Big D Energy today. We'll be back tomorrow. Neil Rule will be in this seat. I will be in that seat. And we will wrap up the week. And my goodness, it is going to be a beautiful weekend. So hopefully you guys are getting excited to go out, have some fun. Maybe hit up a Tigers game.
Baby.
Just, go to look at the baseball field or something.
Hitting the links on Saturday.
Oh, there you go. If you can get out there, hit them golf balls. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Good day.